we had when we look at how this project could be developed. It also turned out that decarbonization might be, not the right word, because I think you mentioned, we need carbon, and I think we really should try to push the wording defossilization. I think this would give us much more orientation. And what I'm so impressed by this project is that carbon will get, I would say, a very positive image. And I think this really should, or it could change what we would call the next level of climate and energy policies. Maybe a final word on that.
Yeah, I mean, you're fully right. I mean, the carbon is the most important element for these basic materials we use in our society, like fuels, plastics, chemicals, and so fully right. We should focus on defossilization and not on decarbonization. I think that it is difficult for companies who are still fully relying on fossil-based fuels to make such decisions, because we talk about million of investment to move to this fossil-free plastic, kerosene, etc. And as it is difficult for them to make these decisions, I think it is important that the European Commission, but also Austria, we make pressure in this direction, and we show also the timeline what you expressed. I mean that carbon is needed, and this carbon will be always there. So I think we should help, because you said you are sure that OMV will come more dedicated back. We should help also to make such big decisions, because I mean in our company, if I look to this 10, 15 big scale projects worldwide, Holcim, we have 35 projects in 35 cement plants in Europe. So, and out of these 35, there is 20 projects. I cannot even remember one full-scale CCU project. All of them are CCS. And so, I mean, I would underline what you said. Sometimes we forget what we have with this project, with the industrial cluster close to Schwechat. I mean, we're in an excellent position, and I think this should be told and told again. What nice project we have, and also as an example for the hard-to-abate industry.
To be honest, Joseph, we have a very strong goal. We are not getting free allowances, so emission rights by the year 2034. This is very close to us. So, and the small Austrian cement industry will, if we don't find a project like this, will have to pay 2.4 billion to the European finance minister. So we have a strong emphasis to really be fast now. And I would lie if this wouldn't play a role in our strategy. Sure it does, because every CEO can calculate these mega costs coming to him. I see now roadmaps, and I see our Paris goal and I see our Green Deal goal on the area of countries and Europe, but I don't see sharp goals to defossilize wherever the raw materials. And I'm convinced as long as we are not getting defossilization goals, whenever they should be, whenever we should have these goals, it's simply so much cheaper to take the hydrocarbons out of oil and gas to make these important products in the future. And I don't even see a document in all Europe where you really see an end of using hydrocarbons from this. And probably, if we would start such a discussion, it would never come to an end. I don't know.
Before we continue, this issue is important. But I think first we need to understand the three essential material classes are carbon dependent. The cement industry may provide the carbon, not only plastics need carbon, also steel needs carbon. High quality steel needs a certain percentage of carbon, and we produce a lot of steel worldwide. So they need to explain where they're getting it from. And what we are now talking about is, in the sense of defossilization, the terminology that is being now used to frame the whole discussion coming up at COP28 is the issue of phase out, which is defossilize, or phase down, which could also be defossilize in order to root down, like decarbonization. Now, of course, we can discuss that forever, and I don't think there will be a quick agreement worldwide. But there may be a faster agreement on regions, depending on access to fossil fuels and which role it plays in an entire economy. But if we just manage to get to a stage to say, okay, if phase out to phase down strategies, I'm pretty sure over 2/3 of where we would get there, it would be very much aligned, both strategies, because there are efficiency improvements and so on and so forth. And simultaneously we'll build up the circularity. And I'd say, let's work on the last third. When we get there, whether we stick to phase down, and then we will be needing CCS, or whether we move to phase out, and then we need heavy carbon capture and utilization. But we also need to focus our discussion on that, not to get lost like in principle idealistic issues, but let's search for a pragmatic way. And hopefully that is what will be happening, is my view. So that brings us back to all these other issues where we said, okay, if we handle those policy, those cost accounting issues, they can be handled independent of this very big question, but we need to understand carbon circularity is essential to work our materials industry.
I think this is our basic mantra. We want to spread. We need, circular carbon. Philip, I think you want.
No, I just actually I have a 3-minute video showing a nice cooperation between Sweden and Austria on these carbon cycles. I could show at least 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That may be
You want to show it right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
But please
When is the tax?
help yourself,
The tax is at 1/3.
1/3.
1/3.